I'll see that later. Okay. Inshallah. Yes, Mr. Say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Recently, and I think it's because I'm getting closer to 40, there are certain...
You're getting old.
Yeah. There are certain things that you said like a long time ago that now I'm remembering them and they're making sense. And even those times you said this will make sense when you get older. And there's a saying from Hazrat Ali that he says, youth is like a madness and the only cure is getting older. So I've been thinking about that a lot as well. And when does that madness end? Like, what is that point where you really come into yourself to become mature? Where those, and you've talked about it a lot. What happens when you get older, that the stupid things that you worry about or you think about, sometimes they get quiet. And that especially I've been feeling more. Right. That quietness. Right. It would be nice for it to, I'm wondering, how do you, what is that age? What is the age really where you come out of youth and you come into the next?
It's the age when you start looking back. When you start observing yourself. Before you're just experiencing. You're experiencing life. New experience. Okay, now stop. Your body is slowing down. You don't need to experience a lot. You don't need to go out too much. You just stay home. The pleasures that you seek, okay, they are not so dramatic anymore. It's simpler. Because you understood what this life is. And you want to experience, but now you say, I want the quality of the experience rather than the quantity of the experience. So in reality, you become more smart. You don't try to do everything. You just do, from doing everything for decades, you say, you know what, I like this one, and it's okay. This one I did for different reasons, this I did for my friends, for my father, it's not working out, let me just do this. No one is really expecting me to do all of this too much. I'm just going to do this. And you start thinking. You start pondering. That is the age when prophethood is given. You start thinking. And you will start caring because your concern, your focus will be a little bit above the belly button. Okay? It's not just below the belly. There is a sickness that is there. And that is controlled by the body. You understand? It's controlled by the nerves. But once you get to a certain age, again, because you tried, you did it, and now the hold of it that it has, you are more real about it. The hold that it has on you is not just in your head. You understand that it's just the body and that's it. You want to eat, you want to eat, or because it's this, but you realize because you did that it's not that great. It looks so good, but then you've done it before, then you must remind yourself, oh, okay, I did this in addiction. I did this, oh, okay, remember after that how when you dip and you realize, oh, okay, yeah, not necessary. So you become more refined with things, right? But it's connecting the dots, and it's nice. Because there are a lot of dots that are there for you to connect. And again, the sickness of the below the belly button is not really striking you as hard because your body is also slowing down. Because in so many ways, the appetite has already been spent. It's not, guesswork is not a fantasy that you keep feeding. You have experienced that. And that, when you're young, you cannot understand. But when you get older slightly, you become, that is the age of manhood. You become a man. Before that, it's not. So, you start thinking, putting things together. Instead of just learning, reading, you start processing and applying. Process and apply. Even with knowledge, when we're younger, read, you want to. But now it's kind of like you observe, right? You don't read so much, you just observe. Oh, like this. Oh, like this. You don't try to consume more knowledge. You've done it already. Now it's to see whether that knowledge, what works, what doesn't work. You start to simplify your life a little bit, and you want to simplify what is in your head and in your heart. Because the spirit also knows, okay, you entered to manhood, but that's also the gate for you to start thinking about the hereafter. Now, if you have a shaykh, you're in a jamaat, it's easier, it's fast-tracked, because you're doing it from young. You may resist, you may not understand, you may fight against it, be rebellious, but after a while, you will sort of like give in. And it is consistent. And this is what is sohbat is training, because the sohbat now, it is not about knowledge of books. It is not about knowledge. It is about observation. It's about extracting the wisdom of knowledge. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in so many ayats, He just tells us to observe. Yes? Observe. Have you not seen? Have you not seen? Have you not observed? Is it not? So, it's very beautiful, because Allah is not talking about the, how you say? He's not talking about the wisdom, but He's teaching us the ways to get the wisdom. Do you understand? So, in Sohbat, we're taught that by our Shaykh for years, at any age that we enter. Because the Sohbat is not even about reading, it's about observing, it's about listening. Listening and observing. And listening, it is something that is closer to the other world. Because even they say among all art forms, right? All art aspires to music. Because it is, you cannot touch it, you cannot smell it, you cannot see it. It's from another dimension. That's why it's important to listen. Sema. So, you're continuing with the sohbat and thinking and observing. Then it becomes very interesting. And it's interesting to then learn new things without, like you say, having those voices always dictating you, having expectations from people, feeling that you are this or that, especially now that in this way, you are protected in that way. So, inshallah, may Allah increase us in knowledge. And the essence of knowledge, and the knowledge about us, ourselves, to have the knowledge of Allah, inshallah, to know more about Him, to know Him and to worship Him. May Allah forgive me, inshallah, and bless you. Al-Fatiha.